Hi guys, so I want to show you my craft area. I've been working on it today. I showed you a video a few months ago of how it was before, and that wasn't too messy, but I finally sorted and I'm happy with the way I've set it up. So I'll show you how it is organised now, and it's not clean, so it does need cleaning. And also I'm not going to show you the floor because it really needs hoovering. I'm not going to show you under my desk because that's still messy, but I am happy where I've put things. I think it's logical and I like the layout, so yes. So let's have a look. It is in a corner of my room. Here are the eaves. There is Tutankhamun, and he will not stop falling off the wall. So it's in the eaves, so I've not got much headroom, but this corner is perfect because I really like to have everything in arm's reach, and all the furniture means that I can access things without having to get up from my chair. The only trouble is reaching these shelves, especially the top one, so I don't really use the top one. But everything is within an arm's reach, which is really good because I am often too lazy to get up to get anything that is further away. So I think if I had a big room, I'd be too lazy to get up to get things. I would like a bigger desk, but as long as I use the space well, it's perfect. So firstly I will show you my rainbow tower. On the top I've got my big shot, and like I said in the other video, I love having this here because some people in their large craft rooms have like stations, and they have a die cutting station. Well, I don't have a specific desk for that, but the top of this drawer unit is perfect, and I can run things through, and because there's quite a lot of space at the back here, I can still run it through and grab it on the other end. I don't let it fall off the other end, but this is enough space even though it's only the top of a drawer unit. Then I've got my drawers. This is by what's it called, the Very Useful Company, or Useful Box Company or something. Anyway, I love it so much. It was an investment when I didn't have a lot of money. It was £40, but it has been so useful. So in the top drawer I have punches and wobbly scissors. I don't really like them in here, but because I've got all sorts of different shapes and sized punches, nothing's going to really fit unless I had one of those rod systems. So for now they can stay in here. And then all the rest of them, I am really happy with what is in them except for the bottom two, and I have even labelled them because I'm happy with what's in them. So this folder has die cutting and dry embossing. So it's got my embossing folders, texture plates, the flat dies and the big thick dies from Ranger Sizzix ones. I've got the flowers and the tags, and practically everything you see in this room will either be discounted or be stuff that I found from, you know, like storage things, or be stuff that I've been able to get secondhand. So everything's really cheap. I bought the tag die for half price. I've got one of those ball bearing texture plate thingies, and I've got these they're what x-rays get printed on. I work in the radiology department of a hospital, and these expired 3 years ago, and we found them in a cupboard and we thought, can't use them anymore because they've expired. They're the sort of ones that hands go on. So I took a pile and I have started making stencils with them, and I've got some other ideas as well. So they're really useful. So I've got them with my die cutting ones, because when I get more dies then I'll be able to make more stencils, but I haven't got many dies. I've got circles, frames, that sort of thing. They're the ones that I know I will use time and time again. I refuse to buy anything that I will not use more than fewer than 10 times. Then I've got my ink pads. I've got this Colour Coach thing from Stampin' Up, because I didn't know where else it should go. I don't really have a home for it. I got it for £1 from a car boot sale, which was brilliant. I've got Distress inks, these little ink pads which don't bleed through Halifax paper, some Hobbycraft ones, Archival ink, Versa Magic, and some cheapo Dovecraft ones which I don't like. They're too inky, but the first ones I got, and I'm not going to get rid of them until I have to. Then, so look, I've labelled. Aren't I organised? It's quite a revolution for me to be actually happy with where I've put things, to permanently label something. And I like the fact that I've labelled them, because it makes it clear in my brain where things are supposed to go. Oh, this drawer is stamping and inking accessories, so things like stamp blocks, inking, the Distress ink accessories, stamp cleaner, foam pads, stamp cleaner pads, and then shaving brushes, you know, the shaving foam lathery things for ink dusting. I haven't practiced enough with them. Heat embossing, so I've got the embossing powders, ink pads, so I've got the normal embossing ink pad and the black one. The black one is best for metallics, and this is a very inky black one, so that is perfect. It's a very wet one as opposed to the drier ones. Got my Versa marker for making my own shapes, a brush for getting rid of bits of powder that was caught onto the paper with static. I finally got an anti-static bag. Then my tray, which I do my embossing over, and my heat gun. And my adhesives, my tools, so all sorts of sharp things, tweezers, a single hole punch. Then I've got my Fiskars cutter thing, and a cutting mat, and 2 metal rulers, and a tape measure, and cleaning materials. And then I've got my ATG gun, which should go in with the adhesives, but then if that's in there I can barely fit anything else in the drawer because it's a really big box. But I do keep it in the box because there's nothing to protect the end from getting fluff and stuff on it, so I need to protect the end where it's gluey from getting dirty, so I keep it in the box. And my label maker. And these 2 bottom drawers I'm not happy with. At the moment it's just got A4 plain paper in for things like, if you have a really scratched up die cutting plate, just doing the die cutting straight onto this will make these indentations, these scratches, go onto your card. So I put a piece of paper over it so that it doesn't indent the card. And then the bottom one, I don't have any. Oh, I do. Oh, there's more paper. Look, I can tidy up now. The reason why I don't really want anything to go in the bottom drawer, or at least I will want something permanently to stay in here, is because the weight of all of these drawers is making it not go out and in easily. So that will only house something permanently. I think I might make a part 2 of this video because I've got a feeling my camera will die because it only lets me film for 15 minutes. So here is my desk. It's still got a load of stuff on it that I don't really know where it should go, so just ignore that. I've got my Diddle mat, and the reason it's facing this way, so when I sit here it's sort of back to front, is because I was heat embossing something, and I think it's in one of these corners. This isn't heat resistant. It started to bulge, where the heat expanded or melted or something. Oh, here, just there. It made the plastic bad, so instead of having it with the bulge here or the bulge here, I've put it that side because I won't be using that area, which is a shame because I've had this mat for many years and it's beautiful, and it's one of the few things that I've got left from when I lived in France. So it's a real shame that it's kind of a bit broken now, but it stays on my desk. And this is an oven liner, and I love it, and I used it for a long time instead of a Tim Holtz craft mat, but because it's black I can't see where the ink is, so that meant that I was getting all sorts of colour mixes that I didn't want, so I've had to buy a Tim Holtz one, which I was really reluctant to do because they are quite expensive. Then this is my my bottom shelf. It was supposed to be the top shelf, but my dad put it here when he put my shelves back together, and I didn't like it, but now I realise it's perfect because I can store things under the shelf, and I can still have like my laptop and stuff off my desk, and it still gives me room. I have things under, over there I have my ink, my fountain pen ink bottles and ink accessories for my fountain pens, and the reason I keep them under there is because they're less likely to get hit by something and for the glass to break, and also they're out of direct sunshine. And then I've got this box, and this is if I'm doing a big project on my desk and my desk is absolutely covered, I can put things in here like you know, any inks I'm using, accessories, tools, that sort of thing, and just slide it under here, and then I've still got a clear mat, and then I can pull it out when I need to grab something again. It's just a shoe box. A lot of the storage things in this room are shoe boxes. Yeah, so this corner is supposed to be for Egyptology stuff. It's my A5 Ochre Malden, which is my my specific research project notes, my red Moleskine, which is supposed to be my bullet journal, but I've only used 1 page in it, and then one of my favourite Egyptology books. Then when I'm doing an Egypt project, I'm supposed to use this area to store my books and stuff, but I don't usually do it at my desk. I usually do it over on the sofa. So and then on this corner I have got my little cardboard chest of drawers, which has got stationery in. So random pens, I've actually got to sort through them. I think I'm in my own light, sorry about that. More random pens, and these are all clips and stuff like that. I've got a pile of post-it notes, and they're all falling down everywhere, and the reason is because they won't fit in this drawer anymore. This is chock-a-block full of post-it notes, and this has got bigger bulldog clips and stapler and more stuff falling down. These don't usually live here. These are paper chase memo note things, and then I've got a load of stuff falling down. I'll have to rescue that before it stays down there forever. Okay, and then I've got some stuff on top there, and that's just more notes. I've really got to sort that area. So that's that, and then this is my favourite shelf. So for a long time this was my main shelf. Then I took stuff off here that was like books and old uni stuff and organised it, but I was still using this as my main shelf. For example, I had my Big Shot up there and other things like that that I needed access to frequently but were quite heavy. Because I don't have much arm strength, it was really difficult for me to be able to pull this off the shelf to use it and that kind of thing. So I finally realised that up here I should have things that I don't use very often but are in pretty boxes. So for example, this box is full of all the kind of racks and things that people have sent me from abroad that are things that I can't ever buy again, and I really love them, and I'm very grateful for people giving them to me, but because they're like one-offs and I can't buy them again, I'm reluctant to use them, and so I'll just store them in this beautiful pretty box and keep looking at them until I'm kind of content enough to start using them, because my thought is once they're gone, and it's a shame that they'll be gone. My Filofax hole punch and my tin of stickers, and then I've got a couple of pretty Cath Kidston-esque boxes. Sorry, my camera died. in this box I'm going to store the tags I make. Things are difficult with one hand. One of my crafting things is going to be making tags, so there's a couple I've made. They're curled, it's really annoying. There's a steampunk one and there's a kind of just a pretty one. So I want this box to be full of tags I've made. And then this other box is full of embellishments, but I'm not a big embellishment person, but the few that I have had, because I've made my mum something for Christmas, I've got a lot of these sort of things and sequins and stuff, and then things that I've made from when I've been making cards and things. I did a whole load of these and I only used a few of them. I tried to put these back without making more things fall down. And then I've got my one and only stamping magazine, and the reason I got this was because I like the stamps on it. I don't read magazines. And then my purple Malden. Behind that I've got a picture I painted years ago, and my 21st birthday card book thing from my mum. And this is my typewriter, and originally it was sort of hiding away on my bottom shelf, but now I've decided it's beautiful and it should have pride of place. So if I show you, if I can lift the case up with one hand, I'm in my own light here, but hopefully you can see that if I take the lid off. This was designed by Ghia, which he was the designer of Formula 1 cars in the 70s, so it's really beautiful. I love the colour. I'm not very good at using it because it's one of the ones that you have to really press down hard, and when you've grown up using computers instead of typewriters, your fingers just aren't designed to press that hard, so it's difficult. And then this box is full of paints, acrylic paints, which I don't use very often. This should actually go down here. And then I've got a Cathkidston mug with some more arty pens and crayons, glitter paint, which doesn't fit in any of the boxes I've got because it's too tall, and some sketchbooks and art journals. And this is just a container with stencils in, and then my paintbrushes and palette knives and things like that in a Egyptian Where's Wally, or in America you call Where's Waldo mug, which is really cute. And there he is, there's Wally, just there. And it's really funny because it's Egyptian pyramids, or one pyramid, and it's just really funny cartoons. I don't know if you can see, and in just the top corner there you might be able to see the pharaoh choosing his sarcophagus, which is a really funny idea. And then on the top shelf I have got stuff that isn't really related to crafts. I've got to sort through them, but they're my old Egypt folders from before I went to university, from when I was about 15, 16. I've got to sort through them, but it's like all of my amateur notes. It's quite funny to look at because I had no analytical skills whatsoever. I printed stuff off the internet and I believed it all. I've come a long way. That trunk is it's got spares in, so like spare makeup foams, which I sometimes use for inking and things, and spare brushes and things. And then dusty. This was the what do they call them? The thingy plate. You know, that rubbery silicone plate thing that you can use for making textured prints. I made it myself out of like gelatin and stuff, and it developed when it was melting and setting. It developed lots of air bubbles, so it now every time I make a print with it, it now has voids where the air bubbles are, so I don't use it. I will break it up and store it, and one day when I have figured out how to I'm just going to leave that there because I can't pick it up with one hand. When I've figured out how to not have air bubbles, I will remelt it and set it properly. And then there are my German and French language books and dictionaries, and my English dictionary and thesaurus. Okay, and this box here has, sorry, wobbly cam, it has kind of Filofax Midori decorating stuff. So it's stickers, tags, tabs, you know, like the Avery ones, nice Rilakkuma notelets, that sort of thing. And then I've got these vintage camera pictures my mum got for me for Christmas. This space here, currently, you know, it stores my drink, it's got some potpourri and a nice box, but when I need the space I can put this stuff up here, and then I can use this space to dry stuff. Now this is something that I really lacked before, because when I'm using my desk it is like covered in stuff, and I would put things to dry really in places that I shouldn't do, like on top of my laptop, and then it would make my laptop get paint on it and stuff. So now I've actually got somewhere things can actually dry, so that's good. Then I've got my old sewing box, which is where I store my stamps, wooden stamps, Hobbycraft £1 acrylic stamps and more inside. It is quite old and the hinges are a bit rubbish, so I don't like to open it very much, but it is good for storing the stamps. And here are my shelves. So I've just finished sorting them. What I have sorted today are these shelves and this shelf here, so I'm happy with what's on these shelves now. So in here, this is where I store all of the random things that I've experimented with or tried to do and it's not really worked for my purpose, so I've done another one and I've still got this one. I don't like throwing anything away, because even if it's like random and it's just got a weird pattern on it or like a textured background, like this is something that I did ages ago, this. And here's the beautiful postcard from Monique, and there's something that I got from Colt Pens, and here's some of my experiments. I want to take all of these things and put them in my art journal eventually, turn them into something beautiful. So this is the shoebox, where instead of having a load of random bits of painted card on my desk, I can put them somewhere and I can come back to them and use them one day. Here's my kitchen roll, which I use for my Dylusion spray inks, and this is the box where I have all of those spray inks, and also my glitter glue and my Tim Holtz Distress stains. I only have the metallic ones, and some metallic paints, and that is here. The reason why I've got this stuff on these shelves is because this is the stuff that I use most frequently, whereas the stuff up there on that shelf is the stuff that I don't use very frequently. Like my acrylic paints, I use my sprays and my distress inks a lot more than I do my acrylic paints, so I don't mind them being up there because I don't have to pull them off that shelf too often. And then I've got my colourful pens, my washi tape, my pencil case. This basket is supposed to be for unfinished projects. Instead of them littering my desk, I've now got a proper place to keep them. These are my distress foams, which I've finally got a place where they won't get crushed, because they're the sort of things that they used to sit behind this sewing box, but then they would get a bit mangled behind there, so when I needed quick access to them I used to put them behind my chair on the floor, which meant that I could quite easily squash them. So now they have somewhere to stay. This is a cheap oven liner which I tried to use before I got the Tim Holtz one, because I was trying to find anything instead of having to buy the Ranger one. This is brilliant, this Ranger one, but it was a lot of money. But this one is a bit rubbish. Actually, no, it's very rubbish. This cheap oven liner. It holds the inks. You can't really get rid of them, clean them off very easily, and it has all the bend marks where it's been rolled up and stuff. But it is quite good if I do need to take this somewhere else in my room and do something. Sorry about that. So these two bottom shelves of my shelving unit, they are, I've just finished setting them up and I'm quite happy with them now. They're for my papers, and this came about quite gradually, but now I realise it's perfect because I don't want the two top shelves to be kind of top heavy. I don't want them to have lots of heavy things on them and the two bottom shelves to have light things on them, because I don't want it ever to kind of fall forward. So having the heavier papers on the bottom is perfect. In this folder I have lots of Polly Pockets. I will show you what's in it in detail another time, but I can't remember what it's called, but there is a thing in scrapbooking which is like a scrap organisation system which looks like a giant folder fixed to a desk, which has got lots of like Polly Pockets, you know, those plastic wallet things inside. I made my own version out of stuff I've already got, so that is perfect for me because I don't have that many. So this stores all of my scraps, anything smaller than sort of A5, and then I often need to put things in here, but I'm not going to get the whole thing out because it is heavy and it is really full. So I've got a shoebox lid, so I can just chuck all the random bits of paper that I do need to file away in there, and then I can file them away when I get the folder out. This box now has all my playing card in it. I use my playing card a lot. I don't like using scrapbooking paper because it's just too beautiful to use for my purposes. I don't really do anything that I think is good enough to use my beautiful scrapbooking card. I love making my own from scratch though. I love when I make cards, when I make tags, I do everything from scratch. I'll show you one day. I absolutely love seeing things transform from nothing to something beautiful. So I use plain card. I've got cream and white card in here. They're A4 and they're the really cheap ones, and I absolutely love them. And I've also got index cards in here too because I find that they're really useful for tags and things. And then I've got a travel iron. Now that's because I think in one of Tim Holt's videos I saw him using an iron to flatten something that had got wet. When you use a lot of wet mediums like the Dylusions inks, you get the paper is just extremely wet and you dry it off with a heat gun, but it does curl. So I use a travel iron on a very low heat to flatten the paper, and it's really good. Then I've got my cup. This cup is so multi-purpose. I use it to clean out my fountain pens, to wash my brushes when I'm painting. Practically I use it for everything but drinking. So it's a really old manky plastic cup, so it can just live there because it doesn't fit in my drawers. And then in this box I've got random stuff like tissue paper, foam, felt, leather, just stuff like that that one day I'm going to do something with, but I don't know yet what I'm going to do with it. And then here's some tissue paper in packets. Now on the bottom shelf, in this box, this 12 by 12 plastic box, I used to have all of my 12 by 12 things, but got way too heavy and way too full. So now I've just got the single sheets, and then on top I've got all of my smaller than 12 by 12 things. So here are my square ones. They're like 8 by 8, 6 by 6s, and well, that isn't square, but that's craft stacks. And then here I've got A5 ones. And then under here I've got like cardboard and stuff. And here are my 12 by 12s and my A4s. So I never buy anything full price if I can help it. And I think everything in this pile, except for the acetate and the black card, has been discounted. I got 3 sets of scrapbooking paper from TK Maxx for at about a third of the price than it is in Hobbycraft. I got this Tim Holtz one for £5 instead of £16, and that was from a car boot sale, and none of the pages have been used. And I got this pack of paper here for £4 instead of probably £8 because the front cover was damaged, from the range where I used to work, and I've also got this big lot of paper here from TK Maxx, so that was cheap. And even the Tim Holtz paper that I haven't got it in here, it's over by my sofa, but it's the 8x8s. I got that for half price as well. And then here are my A4 papers, colourful papers from Paperchase. So there you go, that is my craft area. I love it. I'm going to use it more and more. So there you go. That is going to be a very long video. Sorry about that, but I do love it, and there is lots of stuff for me to show you. So thank you for watching, and I do have to clean it but I'm glad it's all sorted now. So thank you for watching. Bye.